Hello, everyone. Welcome again. I will be your presenter for today for the dynamic filters with parameters in your dashboard. My name is Özgecan. As Madison already introduced me, I'm an associate consultant at AWS in the professional services. What we do with as professional services, we help our customers to understand their business case and then find the right solution for them. And we deploy the AWS services together with our customers in their non-production environment. So let's get started with the agenda first. Yeah. So today I want to talk to you about what the business problem is, why we think that dynamic parameters can help you in your day-to-day life, in your day-to-day business. And later on, I want to explain a little bit about how the solution looks like, so dynamic parameters and what it entails, what it doesn't entail. So I will talk a little bit about the solution technicality there as well. And then we'll switch to demo. The business problem. So here you see like two people from different part of the world. So let's imagine they're both working in a very international company. This international company is also working for different industries. So we have one team in EMEA. Sally is working in the finance team in EMEA, and she's consuming this dashboard. And also we have this another team, and Sam is working in this team. The team is based in AMER region, and they're working for retail. So they both consume the same dashboard, and the underlying data is the same. However, when they want to consume this dashboard, they need to do some filter adjustments manually. So this can be time consuming. This is prone to also the human errors. So we like to eliminate this, right? We like to automate this as much as possible, and we like to increase the efficiency of using this dashboard so that they can focus on what really matters. So this is a business problem. And how we can solve this is the answer, and this is the dynamic parameters, dynamic filters with parameters. So what does a solution look like? Right now, we also see the databases here. That's what I meant. So the dashboard itself is actually coming from the same database, but they all want to consume different part of this database, right? Like EMEA business analysts, they want to focus on EMEA and specifically for the finance, if you're in the finance section, finance team. And if you're an AMER and if you want to focus on retail, you should only see that part. So although they have the very base, like they have the same database, they are consuming it differently. So our objective is, again, automatically filter this dashboard so that we are not going to manually put some effort to do this, and also enhancing this user experience by minimizing manual filter adjustment, which, as I also said before, it's prone to human error. So what are the key requirements? These dynamic parameters should accurately filter dashboards by team. When I open the dashboard, if I'm in the EMEA region, I should see the EMEA results. And also, this is one important part that I should actually underline. I should actually highlight. Users can have access to this entire data set when we are using dynamic parameters. So dynamic parameters doesn't mean that when you can only see one part of the dashboard, it doesn't mean that you don't have access to the whole database. So you only see, only the manual filtering part is handled when we use dynamic parameters, but you still have access to whole database. So what could be the business case for this? So I'm in the EMEA region, but I like to see, for example, AMER region. And if their sales are good, I want to maybe do something later on with their sales. Like I want to contact some people, I want to bring whatever they're doing to the EMEA region, right? So you still have access to it, but the first time when you open the dashboard, you don't have to handle the filtering. And the third part is seamless integration with identity management systems. So what do I mean by this? So I said that automatically filtered dashboards by the team. By the team, I didn't really define what a team is. So in dynamic parameters, you can do it in two ways. One, you can give the specific dynamic parameter so you can give this to specific users or teams. Team, as in QuickSight, we call this groups. So in an international business, right, this is what we are talking about. If you have multiple industries and multiple regions, it's the best practice to use groups. But if you're a small business, you can still work on the user level. So if you are using, in this case, like groups, QuickSight groups, because QuickSight Groups also has the integration with the identity management systems directly. So it basically gives you automatically seamless integration with all the identity management systems as well. So you don't need to think about this. I actually want to show you the solution now. So let's get to the demo part. Let me go to my console. I hope you can see my console right now. I'm in the AWS console right now, and I'll go to QuickSight. What I want to do here is actually I want to start from scratch and show you really easily what my dashboard look like and then how I can use this dynamic filters with parameters. So let me go to datasets. As you can see, I would put some datasets here. I will go more in detail about those, but let's create a new analysis. Click on this, and my new analysis first is started as sales CSV. So this is the dataset that I already uploaded. I can show you how it looks like first. So this is a dataset basically with the transactions for different regions, countries, with the contact person. It shows the sales in different industries for different products. So it's a very nice datasets to play around with. So let's go and say publish and visualize. I will create an interactive sheet here. So let's create something very simple. Let's say I want to see the sales over order date. As you can see here, I have this visual. Let me say fit to width. Yes, but it looks a little bit cluttered. So let me actually do this, or maybe a month. Okay, this looks better. I can add also some fancy forecasting. Yeah. This looks way better now. So let me add one more, the key performance indicator. I can again do it with the order date and sales, but this time, let's say I want to see the aggregation over quarter, right? And let me actually create different percent and the comparison. Okay, let me keep it that way. And let me also add a map. So the region, actually, let me add country and sales. Cool. And lastly, I can add a donut chart. Again, I want to see sales, but let's say I want to see them in sub-region. Right. So as you can see, we have our dashboard. Let's imagine this is a dashboard all these business analysts are using when they're looking at their sales, right? So what you want to do is, let's say I'm the Sally now. If you remember, Sally was from the EMEA region and she was looking at specifically the industry of finance. So I need to add some filters for it. Usually how we do here is industry, and I'll just apply to all the sheets. You don't need, like, this is actually the basic QuickSight, the parts that I'm doing right now. But if you don't know it, that's still fine. We are still not in the dynamic parameters yet. But if you already know, that's also a good refresher maybe for you. So, okay, I can actually do a filter list. I can apply, and actually, let me just do this like this. I'm in finance, so let me just do a finance. And I can add one more filter with the region. And I'm only in email. Right. Okay, great. Let's add those also so that we can see. So I'm the Sally, and every time when I come to this dashboard, if this is not the default, I have to change this, right? Like I have to, if it's an Amer, I have to come back and click on EMEA, and then I also have to like find my industry and consider this a very basic dashboard. In a very complex dashboard, this will be even more complicated. There will be a bunch of filters, right? So I want to eliminate this. So how can we do this? Like this is like very basic filter. So filters also have this option. Okay, industry, for example. So what we did here is we set filter list, but we also have this custom filter option. And with the custom filters, we can actually use parameters. So parameters are basically you give them a value, and then later on, the filter will pick up this value each time, and it will be based on the it will filter based on the parameter. But if we go to parameters, if we add parameters, so what you can add here is, oops, do I have it here? Let me, okay, yeah. So when you add a parameter, you can add this static value to parameter. So you can give a name, you can click on the data type, single, you can have either like multiple values. So for example, here you can have a couple of years as parameters or a single value. And then you give just the static default value. But we said dynamic. We want a dynamic filter, right? Like we want this filter to change for each team. So then it comes to this set a dynamic default. When you click on this, if you know actually the row level security, column level security in QuickSight, this is a very similar approach. So you again create this sheet as you either add username or user group, and later on for that user group and username, what you like to see for a specific column, right? So we have this column default value. Let me actually show you how it looks like, and then I will add this. So I already told you I imported these data sets, but let me actually upload again for you. It was in my downloads. QLS. Maybe it was not in my, okay, maybe it was in my document. Okay, let me show you from here actually. So this is the datasets that I already uploaded. Let me show you the user case first, and then I'll do the group case. So this is a dataset I created for different users. As you can see, I have one user, admin Özgümüz Isengard, and the second user, standard authorization Özgümüz Isengard. Those are all coming from actually here. You can also see this. As an admin, I can manage my groups and users. So these are my groups. I will come to this, like I said, later. QS EMEA and QS AMER. But you also have, sorry, your users. So for these two users, I added them to my, we can create this from Excel or any other file editor you like to use. And then for this username, I said this is a username and I put the username. And then I define specific region and industry for this user. So this first user is actually imitating Sally in this case from the slides. And the second user is imitating Sam. Sam is in AMER region, works in retail. Sally is EMEA region, and she works in finance. So this user, if we can save and publish again. So we like to use this right now in our analysis. So let me go back. Let me go back to filters. Right. So what we want to do here is you say we like a custom filter. We like to use parameters in this case, but we need to create a parameter first. So here we need to set a dynamic value for this parameter. So we need to add, as you can see right now, we don't have the data set yet because we didn't add it to this analysis. So what we do here is you can add data set here. So I told you, like, let's do it first with users, but you can also do it with the groups. It's the same idea. Actually, let me show you the groups as well, and then continue with the groups. Instead of just the username, we will have a user group in this case. So we have the EMEA and AMER region. But let's do the user one for now. So I add my data set, as you can see here right now in my analysis. So now I can use both of the data sets. And now I can also use this data set for my filter and for my parameter. So I can add a parameter. I can give a name of team region. For example, this team region parameter will be dynamically get a value from this data set. So we can click on this QLS users. We just import it. So here it also gives you an option which one to use. As we are using the users data, we can pick a username column, which is the username column. That's the name. But if you're going to use groups, then you can pick your user group in this one. And column for the default value. So this one is for the team region. And I say apply team region. It will be string, single value, value set, create. And let's also create one more for the industry. Team industry. Actually, it's not team in this case, it's the user. All good. Username and team industry. So as you can see, I did the same thing. I pick my data set. I pick which column has the username in the Excel sheet, and also which column I want to extract the data from. So in this case, team industry. And yeah, great. So now we have two parameters, and those parameters are changing based on the user. So now we can use this in our filter, right? We can click on industry, and now we can go to custom filter. We want it to be equal. We want to use parameter, and now we are going to use parameter. So for industry, we want to see the team industry, and we want to see apply. I'll just say continue. So now, as you can see, it's already filtered only for finance. And now we also want to do this for region. So you can also go to filter like this. Okay, we didn't add the region to all the sheets. I made it for all the sheets. And now I will do the same thing for this one. Custom filter equals use parameters. And now I'm going to use team region and apply, continue. So what I see now in my region, also the map change, only the finance sector right now, finance sector sales, and in the finance sector, which subregion in EMEA, which subregions perform the best in finance sector. So this is what I see. Let me publish this. And let me also share this dashboard with. This is the second user. If you remember, this is Sam. So I'm Sally. I created this dashboard and I want to share it right now with Sam as a co-owner. You don't really need to do that, but I want to also have that person also have the access to data. So here we go. So I finished the Sally's part. Now I want to look at how Sam analyzes this dashboard and what Sam can see. So I already have this other profile. right? Standard authorization. Let me go to QuickSight again. Actually, did I share it as a dashboard? Yes. Okay. Yeah. So here we are. Now I'm in the SAM's profile. Remember, SAM is from the AMER region. And as you can see, when I log into the dashboard right away, I see AMER region and I see only the retail. I also see like in sub-regions, I see the sub-regions in the AMER region and all this data filtered based on what I put into the Excel sheet. So this is how it looks like. Maybe we can even have a, yeah, okay, let me do window left one is this one, right one is this one. Okay. On the left side, you see the Sally's version of the dashboard. On the right side, you see Sam's version. Although it's the same dashboard, the underlying data is the same. I was able to filter them, filter this information automatically, and it helped me get rid of the manual work, basically. And what I showed you today was the username version, but I also explained you can also do it with the user groups. Also, when you're creating this dynamic parameter, you also have option to choose the group name. If you're using QuickSight groups, you can choose that option. And lastly, I want to mention again that like what we did is only on the last layer, so only when you're filtering the data, but you still have access to underlying data. So both Sally and both Sam has access to same data. They can see EMEA, Sally from EMEA can see the data from AMER region, and Sam from AMER region can see the data from EMEA.